Hello, it's Kerry from the Simply Pretty Studio. Thank you for joining me today. So I'm here to shoot the first video in a series of 4, and I'm going to be showing you today how to create this card, and then there will be 3 other videos. This is my Warm Hugs class in the post, so I will show you how to make each item. So we have a gift bag or a treat pouch. This one I filled it with Maltesers and then I accidentally dropped it on the floor and creased the corner. So my video will be another opportunity to make one that will be good enough to give. We also have this little treat pouch, or I think it would make a great gift card holder or a money holder. I've actually got a bar of chocolate in here just to give it a bit of substance, but I think this would be great to pop money in with a bit of chocolate or with a small treat. And then we've got the 2 cards here. So without further ado, I'm going to move these other projects out of the way, and we're going to be starting with this card. Now, part of my class included the Warm Hug stamp set, and it also included the option of the 2 ink pads that I'm using. So I'm using Mossy Meadow and Real Red. Their stamps are great value. They're £16 on their own. They're photopolymer, and you've got 21 stamps in here. And there is a set of dies that goes with these as well, so which is great. So I've already pulled out the images that I'm using, the little coffee hot chocolate mugs here, and the stars, the greeting, and then this lovely decorative shape that fits with one of the die cuts as well. So we're going to be doing a bit of die cutting, a bit of embossing, and we're going to be using a couple of punches as well. So let's pop that to one side. So first of all, you will need your piece of Whisper White, which is your base, and we're just going to fold that one in half and give it a crease. And then I think what I'm going to do is start with all my stamping first, and then we can bring the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine in and do all the die cutting in one go. It could get a bit wobbly at that point on the desk, but we'll just have to go with that. Bit of glue on my card. Okay, so let's start first with this lovely frame. I'm going to open up my Mossy Meadow ink and just tap gently. Now, because this is quite a fine stamp, I always find when you've got quite a fine stamp, it's best not to press too hard because it will tend to give maybe a bit of a smudge. And next I need my Real Red. Pop you to one side. Just going to stamp down. Better allow enough room. Eat, drink and be cozy. Then next I'm going to take, I've got a bit of scrap paper here just to stamp off on. I'm going to take the little coffee cup or hot chocolate cup, and I'm going to ink up one of those. And then there is also this other stamp. This is like the shadow stamp, if you like. So I'm going to ink that one up. I'm just going to stamp it off, and can't really see what I'm doing without maybe getting my head in shot. That's not too bad. So we've just got, like I've stamped off, so we've just got a 2nd generation of colour there. Now I just need to clean off this stamp, and we're going to do exactly the same again, but in the Mossy Meadow. Just make sure that's clean. Actually, I will need to clean the shadow one as well. Give that a quick clean. Then we're going to stamp that one down again, like so. And then take the shadow, stamp it off, and try and line it up. And I can't really see what I'm doing. There we go, not too bad again. And then the only other items we need are the 3 stars, which are lovely. They've got like a nice white border on them. We'll put one up here, one here, and we'll squeeze one in there and hope that the die, there'll be enough room around it. Okay, so that's all of our stamping done. Let's close up these inks out of the way. And we'll bring in the cut and emboss machine, which I'm sure you've all seen. Hopefully you've watched my unboxing video. So we will get a bit of a wobble on the table here while I'm cutting, and I can't really do anything about that. It even happens when I'm working on my big on my kitchen island. It still does on my kitchen island, on my IKEA kitchen island that I use up here. Where's my plate on the top? There's my top plate. You can see I've been loving this machine, been using it lots. So for the die cutting, we need layer 1, layer 2, and then our 2 clear plates. And the dies that go with this set, I'm not sure if you're going to be too close now. So these are the warm wrap dies, and you've got, that one isn't part of it, that's the circle die that we're using. You've got all these pieces here, and these pieces are designed to use with the coffee cups, so to create a wrap around them. You know, when you go out for coffee and you get that little sleeve to stop you burning your hands on the coffee cup itself. So these are like little sleeves that wrap around, and they're really cute. When you put the coffee cup together and add layers with these, they're really lovely. And then you've got the other dies that work alongside the stamps as well. So we need to start with, let's lay this down, hope you can see this okay. And I think we'll start with the coffee cup and the star. Now I don't have my magnetic plate yet, so that will be going on my next order. Oops. And I'm moving it with the other hand. I do love the magnetic plate on the Big Shot. When I had the Big Shot, I would prefer to use the magnetic plate. And then we're just going to lay that on without it moving. So I'm just going to pop it flat down. Hold those layers, turn the handle, and away it goes through. This is where we're going to get the wobble. So I can't really do a lot about that. And then we have a coffee cup and one star. And then we'll go back through this way and cut the other 2. That's lined up. Pop this one in without them moving. Oh, the coffee cup's moved slightly. A bit like the wobble going on. Just take those 2 out. And then we need, you can put the coffee cup away. Need this die here to cut this one out. I'm wondering if I can do all 3 together without them moving. Another star, and then this circle is from the layering circle dies. You might have a punch that's a similar size. I'm going to lay that on, hopefully without moving any of them. My top plate is still quite flat, which is good. I'm just applying pressure here to keep my plate close to my dies so that nothing moves. Had a bit of movement with the star, but we're not going to grumble too much. So take all these pieces out. Not the best of stars. Had a bit of movement on that one. I'm very tempted to do another, but I will add it later just to save time. So now we can move this little beauty out of the way. Oh no, actually we can't. We need to do a bit of embossing. So you need to take your Mossy Meadow layer. I've got one here. And we're using the embossing folder from the Wrapped in Texture set, and it includes this one and this one as well. Don't know if you can see that with the glare. We're going to be using this kind of, let's see, it's a bit like a brick wall, a bit of a crisscross. And we're going to pop our Mossy Meadow in, and I'm going to line it up as much as I can, guiding against the pattern. Now I need to remove my number 2 layer. If I just show you. Oops, that was a wobble. So you can see we need the base plate, which is this one, number 1, and then our 2 number 3 plates with the embossing folder in the middle. So we're going to pop that one in. Run it through. One more wobble, I'm afraid. And let's move you out of the way. Probably moved our grid paper as well in the wobble. Put that to one side. And now we've got our beautifully textured layer. Right, another sheet out of the way. Okay, so we're starting to take shape. Oh, I've missed something. I've missed this die cut. So I'm just literally going to bring this back in and cut that piece. So I need to pop my number 2 layer back in. Are we in shot? And a piece of Pear Pizzazz cardstock. Obviously, I need to turn this around, otherwise I can't reach the handle. You would have had this piece included in your kit. Wobble wobble. Not sure what I can do about this. I may have to do my die cutting out of the screen so that we don't get the wobble. And then I'm just going to push this piece out like that. So I've got all my elements here. A very crooked star, which doesn't please me. This, by the way, is from the Forever Flourishing dies, the lovely kind of leafy set that came in the new annual catalogue. I find I just use it a lot on a lot of my projects. Okay, I think that's all our pieces die cut. So let's start with a bit of sticking. So, bits off of the cutting machine. Let's take my Tombow and we'll just adhere. Oh, it's lovely from the reverse as well. Really lovely, very textured. Add a bit of Tombow around the edge. And we're going to lay this one down in the middle. So pop it nice and central. Top and bottom. Could have been a bit straighter, but there we go. And next you'll need your long strip of Pear Pizzazz, and I do believe I've already punched this for you, but I've used the Lovely Labels punch. This is the Lovely Labels Pick a Punch. Pick a Punch? Yeah, I always get this one wrong. It just hasn't sunk into my brain. We'll call it the Lovely Labels punch, but you've got 2 different designs on here, and you can add in different widths of cardstock to punch a label. So we're going to use this side here. Now I do need to be able to be looking over the top of this to line it in doesn't look very central. So I'm going to have another go. Look to be more one side than the other. I'm not going to fuss for too long. If it doesn't go right this time, then that's just how it's going to be. I'm just measuring it roughly how long I want this to be, and then I'm going to do the same on the other end. I may have cut this piece just slightly too wide, which is why there's a bit of an overhang. Okay, that wasn't a very clean cut. Let's go again with that one. Concentration. There we go, that was better. Pop that one out of the way for now. Could have done with being a bit shorter. It's a real rubbish cut actually, it wasn't very good. Anyway, we're going to lay that one down. I'm fearful it's just a little bit long. So let's just take another smidge off. I have cut this piece just slightly too wide. It should be 3/4 of an inch, and I've obviously just cut it slightly too wide, which is why I've got a little overhang here. And in fact, what I can do to rectify that, let's bring in my little trimmer and just take off, I can see, move over, little smidge. Just a slither, just to take that edge off. Okay, that will be fine. The next punch I'm using is the triple banner punch. So it's a very similar punch but a lot bigger, where you can pop in different widths of cardstock. And I'm using a piece of real red, and I just want to create this little fishtail here. So I'm just going to pop that in as central as the eye will tell. I'm going to go a bit higher because that wasn't very central. It's a little better, that landed on me. And I roughly want it to sit about there. So I'm just going to do the other end. It's tricky to see. I'm going to level that one off a little bit. It's tricky because my phone is right in the way of where my head would be to stamp things and punch things. So I'm going to pop some Tombow on the back of this layer, just a bit down the middle, and then layer this one up as central as I can. And then it's stuck. And then next I'm going to take this piece and stick it straight down onto my card. I like to line up my card with my grid paper. And we will say somewhere, roughly there. That will be just fine. Okay. Next you have a piece of the DSP. Now I'm just looking see what this is actually called. It is the Heartwarming Hugs. Actually it's such a lovely set of Christmas papers. Some really nice patterns in there. So we're going to layer this one down. So a bit of Tombow on the back. And just lay that one down centrally. Sorry, you've got a bit of a wobble. I can see my camera moving. That's not very central. That's better. There we go. And then I'm going to start adding my stamped pieces, and I'm going to start layering these up. So as per usual, you know I love a bit of height, so let's pop some mini dimensionals behind the Eat, Drink and Be Cozy layer. And then we're just going to pop it on top of this one. Like that, and then pop some more dimensionals behind this because I want it to stand nice and proud. against everything. And then I think I'm going to leave that star off for the moment. Pop a couple of dimensionals behind these two stars and a dimensional behind the red mug for now, and then I'm going to determine where I want my dimensional behind that one depending on how it sits, because it will be at double height, if that makes sense, because I've got 2 layers of dimensionals underneath here. So you'll see when I stick it together. So let's take the backing off of these and pop this one down. Oh, I need to be able to see to get that central, like that. Then let's take a couple of stars, take the backs off. We'll pop one up here and one down there for now. Next I'm going to add this coffee cup. Now, as I explained, we've got 2 layers here of dimensionals, so I'm going to pop so that it's this at the same height as the Eat, Drink and Be Cozy layer. I'm going to pop 2 dimensionals, so I'm going to put one down, take the cover off, and then pop another. Now I'm just thinking it needs to be, because this is going to sit, it's going to hang over the side, so I need to stick this one over that side there by the handle, so that the other side, the left side of the mug, can overlap the layer like that, because if I'd have stuck the dimensional behind here, then it would get in the way of this layer here. Hope that makes sense. So we'll pop that one there and then wedge this one in. Let's turn you a bit underneath like that. And then to finish, I'm going to take this nice ferny die cut, snip it down the middle, pop a bit of glue here, and I'm going to share that with the other piece, and then I'm simply going to lay these down here like this. Now, minus my star that was a bit crooked, that moved, we are all done. So there, that wasn't too testing, I hope. So if you have any problems with anything putting this together, I'm not going to do an insert on the middle at the moment, just get in touch. But thank you for taking part in my class, and I look forward to doing the next video to show you how to make one of the other projects. So thanks for stopping by. Take care. Bye.